Alright, good evening. This is Marcus D. Kane here, aka Kane on the Brain. I'm doing this little quick Age of Sigmar skirmish battle report real quick for a friend of mine named Sam. And what we have here is an Iron Jawz army. Is a mega boss who has the metal claw that gives him the ep2, and he is a merciless killer. So any of his allied units that's within 6 inches of him get a +1 to their wounds, which leads to wounding on their attack rolls. We have a 5-man Ardboy squad, all with heavy weapons, and we have the Iron Jawz Orc Banner, so they have a +2 to the leadership when they're within 3 inches of an enemy unit. And over here we have a Underking who has a relic hammer, and he is the staunch defender. So if they don't charge, all of him and his allied units get a +1 to their saves. And these guys is a group of 8 Ironbeards, all armed with axes, and they have their banner that gives them a +1 to their leadership, I believe. If I get it wrong, just let me know if I got it wrong. I'll go back and double check. And yeah, this is just a playtest scenario since he wants to see how they kind of play. And the storyline is that there is a siege going on at this particular Dwarven stronghold, and there are different orc and Auric clans that are in Ungrat who are attacking, and Mega Boss Golden Arms with his golden axes are using the brutal cunning, and they found a way to find this tomb where this old Rune Lord was buried, and his 4th descendant, Onyx Silver Shield, is trying to protect his ancestors' tombs so they're not defiled by the Iron Jaw orcs who are here to ravage their spoils and take all the shiny things. And so they're going to they're basically ready to make their last stand against these guys, and these guys are using all the fighting that's happening throughout the stronghold to find their way to the shiny things. And so we're going to do a roll-off. Whites for the dwarves, and I have a dark blue for the Iron Jawz. So let's see who goes first. And Iron Jawz gets the roll-off versus them, so they're going to choose to go first against them. Get back to you at the end of turn 1. Okay, so at the end of turn 1, so he Waaghed, got a 6, so they all got 2 attacks for this particular turn, but there's nothing in close enough for them to attack. He got the Ravaging Destroyer's move of a 6, so he had to move up an extra 6 inches. And the hero phase, and everyone else ran up to where they're at now versus being back here. Their deployment zone, they stay put, and everything's outside of 8 inches, so they can't shoot them. And now we're going to the turn 2. So we're at the top of turn 2. I also need to make a correction that these guys last turn, they did not use their Rampaging Destroyers, they just ran after the movements. He uses Rampaging Destroyer, and the same thing was repeated this turn, whereas he got a 4-up since he has a +2 to his roll, so he has a 6, so he moved up, and then he did his normal movement during his mood phase, and eventually charged into the Iron Breakers. All of these guys who were back here a little more, they moved up and ran up. Combat phase, the Mega Boss killed 3 Iron Breakers, which are laying up there. And then they rolled their attacks back, and there were 6 hits, and the rest of them missed. And then he had to make 3 saves. He made his 3 saves. He had a 5, 5, and a 6. and they lost their guys. Made them make a morale check. They rolled a 4. Their leadership is 7. 4 plus 3 is 7, so they just tied their leadership. Also, their banner, what it actually does is that it gives you a 5-up save against spells to ignore the effects of a spell that will affect other units around them if they get targeted as well. Start of turn 2 of the dwarfs, the Under King basically gave the Ironbreakers the +1 grudge effect, so that they have a +1 to targeting one unit, which is going to be the Mega Boss. So they have a +1 to their wound rolls. And we're about to get into combat phase, and we have to roll for his charge. 5 and a 5. Yeah, he definitely makes it in. So he's going to join them in battle against the Mega Boss, and we'll get back to the end of turn 2. So we are at the end of turn 2. So what ended up happening is the Under King basically at the start of his turn uses command traits to give the Ironbreakers, Crushing Ironbeards, their +1 to attack the Mega Boss in combat, which would give them +1 to wound. And then he rolled a 10 to charge, so he charged into combat, joining his brothers against the Mega Boss, and he did his attacks against them. 2 attacks missed, 2 hit. I rolled a 1 and a 4 because he has a -1 AP from my save of 3. So he rolled his damage. It's a D3 +1, and oh wait, that means I am down to 5 wounds. My bad. So from 7 down to 5 wounds, and blocked the other damage. Then threw 3 fists at him, which he deflected, and then I threw all of my other attacks, my other 7 attacks, into the Ironbreakers. I have 7 attacks with my axe due to doing the Waagh earlier. Only got a +1 versus a +2, and as you can see, they needed 6s to survive. The damage is 2 on the axe, and yeah, they did. All kinds of dead. You got 3 up there. You got bodies on the floor, and yeah, now these 2 are just stuck in combat. But these guys are about to go at the start of turn 3, so you know what's about to go down. So he's about to make his last stand, and I'll get back to you at the end of turn 3. So this is the end of the game at the end of turn 3. So what happened was the orcs got the double turn, roll off, and the war boss basically bellowed to all of his boys to stay back, for this is going to be an honorable duel, and because he wants to bash the Stunny King. And he did his Waagh ability. He rolled a 1. These guys were all within 12 inches of him, and also within 10 inches of him. So he got +1 to his attacks. He did all of his attacks against the Under King and did some serious damage. The Under King failed all of his armor saves, and then he got the reroll due to the Shield of the Ancients, and he still failed all of his saves, and then he got to use his Merciless Master of Defense, so if he rolls a 6, he gets to ignore wounds. Did a total of 12 wounds to him, so rolled 12 dice, and he only saved 1. So he did all kinds of dead. And he now has free reign to go get his shiny things and magic and whatnot. In the Shadespire rolls and campaign rolls for skirmishes, I won a major victory, which gives me +10 renown points, and I rolled a 2d6, got an 11, which is Famed Commander. Rolled another d6, got 2 points of renown. So that's a total of 12 renown points. So yeah, good times. So thank you for watching this little short video of a quick battle report, and happy wargaming. This is Kane the Brain, signing off.